Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the JT Sports Podcast. I'm your host, JT. Want to react to the breaking news coming out of Gainesville. True freshman quarterback DJ Lagway is going to get the start in Florida's Week 2 game against Samford. Graham Mertz left early in their blowout loss to Miami last week due to a concussion. He still is undergoing concussion protocol, which means that we get our first extended look at the potential savior of Florida football. DJ Lagway, he was the number 1 rated quarterback coming out of last year's recruiting cycle. He had over 70 total touchdowns during his senior year down in Texas. And when you look at his athletic profile, got a rocket ship for an arm, incredible athlete, really fast, has rare twitchiness that you don't see from somebody his size. And at 6'3", 241 pounds, I mean, you can't tell me this guy doesn't look like an Anthony Richardson clone. It's like they put Anthony Richardson in a clone machine and they came out with DJ Lagway. And I believe Lagway is going to ball out against Samford. This is a low-level FCS program. Florida should dominate these boys. It should be 42-0 by halftime. And when he came in against Miami, you know, he was really shaky his first drive. His second drive, he led them to a score. But he still is very raw and unpolished. He doesn't look comfortable in the pocket. It still looks like he's having a hard time adjusting to the speed of the college game. And when he came in during the spring game, he kind of had the same issues. He never really looked that settled in the pocket. And despite how good of an athlete he is, we know that Billy Napier is going to utilize him a lot in the ground game. You still have questions. How good is he going to be when it comes to delivering the football with accuracy? And I wonder what's going to be the quarterback situation after this Samford game, because when he ends up balling out, is he going to remain the starter for the rest of this year? Because a few days ago, I said that if Florida does have a quarterback controversy, it would be in their best interest to stick with Graham Mertz as QB1 with his experience. I don't think DJ Lagway is ready to play right now. Now, playing against Samford is one thing, but playing against Texas A&M is another when you think about how tough Texas A&M's defense is and how grueling Florida's schedule is. They got the toughest schedule in all of college football this year. And with you throwing out DJ Lagway in replace of Graham Mertz, that just shows that you're taking this season to fully commit to developing DJ Lagway, which means that there's going to be a lot of ups and downs that comes with that. Not every true freshman that was highly sought after coming out of high school is ready to play year one. Nico Imaviava, Arch Manning, Jackson Arnold at Oklahoma, they didn't play too much their true freshman years. They sat behind a guy that was a veteran. They got more acclimated to the playbook, and then they took over their second years as redshirt freshmen. There's no problem with DJ Lagway sitting out this season and not getting too much action. He can come in, do his thing against Samford, and then you can go back to Graham Mertz. Because the thing is, if you stick with Lagway as the starter for the remainder of this season, there is no turning back. Because let's say he balls out against Samford, but he struggles in Florida's conference opener against Texas A&M. If you bench him, you're going to ruin his confidence. And there's a really strong chance that he ends up transferring after the season. We saw this similar situation play out last year at UCLA with Dante Moore. If he ends up going out there and he struggles, you ruin his confidence. And with the situation that Florida's in right now, having a hard schedule, a head coach who's coaching for his job, this isn't the ideal situation to be throwing a true freshman out there. It really isn't. And I understand that for guys like DJ Lagway, the only way for them to get better is by getting more in-game reps. You don't always need to throw a guy out to the wolves for them to get better. You can gradually get better throughout practice, throughout spring. And from what we've seen out of Lagway in his small amount of action against Miami and in Florida spring game, he's not ready to be the full-time starter of this team. Throwing him out there means that you have to develop him for the entirety of this season, and you got to take the pains that comes with having a true freshman quarterback out there that isn't really that polished as a passer. Dylan Raiola is a more polished passer than what DJ Lagway is right now, and Nebraska is in a situation where they don't have a head coach on the hot seat. They got a really good infrastructure. And another thing is that DJ Lagway, with him playing a lot similarly to Anthony Richardson, having the similar playing style that AR had, Billy Napier, I don't trust him with his in-depth play calling to be able to properly put DJ Lagway in the right position to maximize his skill set. Anthony Richardson looked better in his rookie season with the Indianapolis Colts than what he ever did under Billy Napier's tutelage. And normally you don't see that happening. Normally, if you have a quarterback that's not that good in college, they struggle in the NFL as well. So why is it that Anthony Richardson, taking a step up in difficulty and competition, looked more competent than what he did under Billy Napier? Because Billy Napier isn't that good of a head coach. His play calling is often criticized by Gator Nation. And just because you change up quarterbacks doesn't mean the offense is going to improve. I mean, at best, your run game is going to be really good, but the passing attack could be a lot worse than what you see out of Graham Mertz. The season isn't over yet. They only lost to Miami. That was week 1. You still have a lot of football to be played. And I really believe that if they stick with DJ Lagway for the entirety of this season, they pretty much are throwing in the towel on the year. Graham Mertz gives them the best chance to win because he's a veteran. He's used to playing in these hostile environments on the road. You mean to tell me you believe that DJ Lagway is going to be able to lead Florida to a win on the road against Texas and Austin? I mean, come on, let's be a little bit realistic about this situation. Billy Napier's play calling is often criticized. He can't really develop quarterbacks all that great. So you mean to tell me that throwing DJ Lagway out there in his true freshman season is what's best for his development? What's best for DJ Lagway, in my opinion, is that you let him play this game against Samford, ball out, and, take it from there. You go into week 3, and if Graham Mertz still can't play, then you roll with Lagway. But if Mertz can play, then you make him the starter again, and you allow DJ Lagway to continue to learn behind him, get a little bit more comfortable to the speed of the game. Because throwing him out there in a situation like this is just a recipe for disaster. This isn't the proper situation that you would like to see a true freshman quarterback in. My job's on the line. Let me just go ahead and throw out this true freshman phenom. Yeah, that's going to work out. I mean, when has it ever worked out great for a head coach who was on the hot seat, coaching for his life, to throw out a true freshman quarterback out there and it's panned out? Look at what happened with Adrian Martinez with Nebraska and Scott Frost. He was a true freshman when he started. His true freshman season was pretty good, but after that, you didn't really see a lot of growth. So I would love to see DJ Lagway sit behind Graham Mertz for this year. With Billy Napier not being that good of a coach and how difficult this schedule is, I think that would do him better than just throwing him out there to the wolves, see him struggle, and then you bench him, you ruin his confidence, and then boom, he hits the transfer portal. We saw this play out with Dante Moore last year. But let me know your thoughts on DJ Lagway getting his first start against Samford. What do you guys think the Florida Gators are going to do after this game? Are they going to roll with him for the rest of the season as QB1, or are they going to go back to Graham Mertz? Like, subscribe, turn on post notifications if you haven't already so you don't miss when we upload new content. Remember that we are not just a YouTube channel, we are a podcast. You can find this episode and all of our previous ones on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you get your podcast from. The JT Sports Podcast is available. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys shortly with another episode of the JT Sports Podcast.